Welcome back to another video. So over the past couple of weeks, I've been getting a lot of questions here on this channel about why does Congress not care about the American people? And are they ever going to do anything about it? Well, actions speak louder than words. And right now, what Congress is saying is they want to provide for the American people, but the actions don't show that. What I can tell you right now is that their goal is not to provide 160 million Americans with an additional stimulus check. They actually have a much smaller to-do list. These things are going to be provide an extension of the child tax credit payments, provide paid family or medical sick leave, maybe pre-K, right? Maybe immigration reform, affordable housing, things like that. That's their to-do list. Not provide 160 million Americans with a $1,400 stimulus check. But while Congress is away on recess and leaving the American people without food and without any money to pay for electricity and gas to keep them warm, well, I want to help you out. Here's what I want to explain today. First off, I have a very good friend who runs a YouTube channel. It's called Riverside Homestead Life. I highly recommend you go and check this channel out. First off, he teaches you how he and his family live off the land. Okay, they have a good piece of land. They do gardening and things like that. He shows you how to preserve certain vegetables or fruits or just different products. And he teaches you even how to stay warm. When Texas had that major freeze and a lot of people were hurt because the electric grid pretty much went down and nobody had electricity and everybody was cold, he put up a video. He put up a video to help people out, to show them you don't need electricity to stay warm. Now, I'm gonna link to that video down in the description box below. I will also link to his channel so you can go and check it out. Make sure you go and subscribe. He has a lot of great videos in there that will teach you different things of how you can survive without worrying about the federal government, without worrying about you have to go to a specific store to buy food. There's different ways you can do this. So make sure you go and check him out. And I also wanna give you one other tip. One of the things I mentioned, it was probably like a week or so ago, I mentioned how a lot of people are going hungry. Well, in that video, in the comment section, one of the followers, one of the viewers here, actually mentioned that she works for a fairly fancy restaurant. And nicer restaurants, they don't throw their food away at the end of the night. Okay? They usually try to donate it. So whoever comes in, they will give it to them. If nobody comes in, a lot of these restaurants will take their food to a homeless shelter and give it to them. So if you are struggling, if you need additional help, go and find a nicer restaurant in your area. You can probably call ahead and say, hey, I'm kind of down on my luck. I could really use some help. I don't want handouts, but if you have leftovers and you are just gonna throw them away, would you consider if I come in and I can have them for me and my family? Because she says this is done all the time. You just gotta go in and ask. So if you want some free food, go to a nicer restaurant and go get the stuff that they're just gonna either toss, they're gonna give to their employees, which their employees don't always want, or they're gonna go and donate it to a homeless shelter because you can go and get this food. So it's a little piece of advice. It's great help. So I just want to thank I don't remember who it was that left that comment, but that is a great piece of advice. Now, let's get into the big questions today. Right now, here's one of the questions. Could the entire $3.5 trillion human infrastructure bill and the $1.2 trillion hard infrastructure bill, could those be in complete jeopardy? Well, that is the question coming from lawmakers today. Again, they're not in Washington, they're on recess. But what happens if the human infrastructure bill can't be successfully negotiated? Will progressives hold out on passing the $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill for roads, bridges, and railways? Will passing just one bill, will this mean Democrats lost? They couldn't get anything done? Will passing just one bill even be an option, or will Democrats completely push against this and say they have to have every single piece of their agenda included? Well, we don't know. The toughest question right now, and this is probably the toughest question, where does Congress go from here? We don't know. Congress doesn't even know. Progressives said today that the $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill is completely needed, is fully needed. We need that bill. However, they say that they have no intention of passing this bill without the American Families Plan. That is the potentially $3.5 trillion human infrastructure bill, which right now, Senator Joe Manchin says he would pass and accept $1.5 trillion. President Joe Biden, he says he would accept about $1.9 to $2.3 trillion. That's what he wants to see. We know Pramila Jayapal, she said she wouldn't go below 2.5, but she kind of, turned her kind of ideas around. Now she says, you know what, 3.5. 3.5 is what we need. I'm sticking with 3.5. But again, we're gonna see what happens because this needs to be negotiated, and we got like 2 more weeks. Got 2 more weeks, okay? The problem is, well, 2 more weeks after this week, because this week Congress is on recess again. More recess. They just keep taking vacations. In a time when the American people need them, they keep going on vacation. Well, what I can tell you right now, many politicians, because here's where things are getting a little tricky. Many politicians are saying that we need to just get something passed now. Just get something passed now. Well, they have a little bit of a restriction on this though. Let's pass $1.5 trillion now. Okay, a little bit of a caveat here. Let's pass $1.5 trillion right now. Let's also pass the $1.2 trillion right after that, because at $2.7 trillion, the American people would most likely vote Democrat in the upcoming midterm election in 2022, which is about 1 year away. So the reason for this, the thinking behind this, according to multiple reports, is to pass the $1.5 trillion human infrastructure bill, but pass the legislation that is time sensitive first. So these could be things like the child tax credit payments, free community college can wait, immigration reform. Well, we could do something a little bit smaller, but we don't need to go, completely and all out, right? Passing some Medicare expansion. Maybe it's not vision, dental, and hearing. All 3 would be great, but maybe it's just 2 out of the 3, right? Maybe we do something with paid family and medical leave. Maybe we, shore up Obamacare, right? We do these little things that are time sensitive right now. And then, here's the key, and then worry about other things, the other pieces of legislation next year. Because if we do this, progressives, according to reports, can campaign on the future promises. Even though they promise these things today and last year, these will be future promises that they'll campaign on. Here's a reason why some say this is the best move moving forward. When politicians do this, what politicians are saying is, vote for us because we already put all these other things in motion. All we gotta do, get a few more seats in the House and the Senate, and we can pass these big, robust pieces of legislation. Because right now, according to reports, all Democrats need is 3 or 4 more Democrats in the Senate, and they can pass anything that they want, because they wouldn't have to worry about people like Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, or even Senator Tester as well. But they wouldn't have to worry about the moderates in the Senate, because they'd have more than enough people to vote yes. Even if the moderates decided to vote with Republicans, it would still get the simple majority. So if they did another budget reconciliation, they could get the bill passed then. So if this is what progressives want, they want to get everything done, then the goal right now should be focused on passing whatever they can pass today. Get the $1.2 trillion bill passed by the end of this month, work on the debt ceiling, work on the federal funding for fiscal year 2022, do all that, and then maybe then the poll numbers would actually start going up, because President Biden, he's really hurting right now. Now, one thing we did here today is that progressives would like to see the gas and oil taxed a little bit more. They want to see gas and oil companies taxed a little bit more. They say that they're just getting out from paying a lot of the taxes, a lot of the different things. They're also pushing to get a per mile tax included in the next bill as well. But here's the reason for this. Progressives do not want to increase taxes on the lower income earners. That's not what they want. What they want to do is climate change. How do we promote climate change? How do we get there? One way is to get all gas-powered vehicles off the road, or a good portion of them. How do you do that? Well, you charge people more money for taxes, for that gas tax. That would entice people to go electric. But we'll see what happens there. Again, they say electric vehicles are our future, so the sooner we can get into electric vehicles, the better off we will all be. But I want to bring you some other news from today as well. Today, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says she wants to completely get rid of the debt ceiling. This is something that we are going to be hearing more of very soon. She says that another standoff is expected in just less than 8 weeks, when Congress must negotiate the debt ceiling once again. And one of the issues that Congress is facing, or will face moving forward, especially with this debt ceiling, is it has to be done by December 3rd. Well, here's what else is on their docket for right now. The time frame, this includes a recess, well, the recess for this week. It also includes a recess for Thanksgiving, right? They need to include a passing of the 2 infrastructure bills. They have to pass the government funding bill for fiscal year 2022, which this has to be done before December 3rd as well. And then obviously we got the debt ceiling, which has to be addressed before December 3rd also. So all these things have to be done in the next 7.5 weeks. And many lawmakers say that this is not even feasible. So this is not something that they're thinking is all going to be accomplished. So according to Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, she says she wants to just completely get rid of the debt ceiling altogether. But again, we will see if that happens. I know some people are against it, but it could potentially work. Now, we are also seeing a shortage of supplies hitting the grocery stores. I want to bring this story to you because, again, like I was mentioning earlier on in this video, okay, I have a friend, he does videos here on YouTube on how to grow things in a garden, potatoes, you make your own pickles, whatever, right? Different style videos. But the key with this is if you can be your own lifeline, you do not have to rely on somebody else or a store. For instance, Walmart, they have stated they have been having a very difficult time keeping certain products on the shelves. Some of these products are beef, pork, chicken, juices, sports drinks, and even snacks. One executive says that these are not just product shortages. This is not the only reason why. Yes, some things are a little bit short supply. However, these are worker shortages. There's not enough people in the warehouses to actually distribute the products. There's not enough truckers to transport the products. That creates another issue, right? There's a lot of delays here. So what they're saying is right now, Walmart is expected to hire 20,000 new employees just this month alone to try to deal with these shortages, whether it's transportation, whether it's from the warehouse, or it could be that it's sitting in the back of the store, but there's not enough employees to bring it to the front. And that's creating a big issue as well. So that's kind of what we're seeing, is that we're seeing supply shortages, we're seeing logistics issues all over the place. So just understand that we have to be patient, but like I said, go and follow my friend, okay? Go follow Riverside Homestead Life. He's gonna show you different stuff. If you have any questions on how to do anything, or if you have a suggestion that, hey, I wanna learn how to do this, if it's something that he knows how to do, he's gonna read the comments and he's going to create a video. And if not, I promise I will make sure he creates a video to answer your questions. So again, just wanna thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.